I have good news, everybody. And by that, I mean I have good news for myself. The video is very much almost done. It's basically guaranteed to come out on Friday at this point, which, holy based. I'm so excited to finally have a video actually coming out. I need to make the introduction song, and that's basically it. There's always a chance that, like, maybe I'll catch one or two things, like, on the second go-around. Oh, and I need to make the like, final outro screen as well. But, like, that's fine. So, that should hopefully come out on Friday. If it doesn't come out on Friday, I will perform on myself, without anesthetic, a circumcision. Just as, like, some kind of punishment. It's been way too long. It's been 5 months since a video has come out. You know how fucking bored I am of, like, this idea that I've just, like, sitting on this video about Gon? It's just a video. He's just a little guy. It's 20 minutes of this guy is small, and I still think it's pretty good. I still think the video is fine. I wouldn't be making the video if I didn't think that the video was fine. But, like, I want to move on to the next video. I want to move on to, like, I've got an idea that basically, if anyone read through the, like, Patreon post, like, a while ago, like, fucking December, you would have seen that I had an idea for a video where it was Dalsim from going from top tier in Street Fighter 2 Turbo to bottom tier in Street Fighter 4. I don't think I'm going to make that video because there's way too much, like, shit going on. There's too many games in between that, and Dalsim's in too many of them. Ultra 4 has, like, fucking, you got Arcade, and then you got whatever the fuck, then you got Super Street Fighter 4, whatever the fuck. But I still think that I could turn that into a series, and so I want to do, like, I want to do a test to see if that's still a viable option. And I was going to do that with, like, Kirby in 64 going down to Melee, because they're systemically quite simple games. And so it would let me, like, kind of, like, cut to the chase and just be like, here's, like, a 15-minute video that could be representative of, like, I don't know, 30-minute videos, like, later in the year that would be easier to kind of go through and not have to be as, like, heavily edited. But I'm like, I've been here for, like, 2 months now on a video that's just, like, Gon is small, and I'm like, I want to see if I can viably make this video in a shorter time frame so that I can then go on to see if this can be a series. I'm freaking out, basically. I desperately want this video to come out on Friday so that I just don't have to look at it anymore. 2 fucking months that has become 5 months to work on a fucking small 20-minute video. Like, what am I doing? Anyway, there's been questions in the chat. Let's actually answer them. Ugh. Opinions on BBCF? I think blazblue's really cool. I used to be a bit of a blazblue hater, just because it was like, oh, this game's, like, really fucking complicated. But in my I Love Fighting Game arc, which I currently am in, I think it's fucking cool. I don't know how, like, I think it probably has, and this is coming from somebody who hasn't put, like, more than 100 hours into blazblue, but I would imagine that it has a problem that's kind of similar to Guilty Gear, where you have, I don't know, 20 or 30 buttons, 20 or 30 characters, rather, and a lot of them just kind of, like, don't gel together, and so you've probably got, like, 1/3 of a cast that you really enjoy playing against, another third of the cast that you don't really care for, and then an extra third that you actively hate. But that's, like, a problem of, like, a lot of fighting. So, you know. Bullet is hot. I'm very tempted to time you out. You are a first-time chatter, and so I will let you have this. But I'm extremely on my... please stop making... Well, no, actually, no, I'm not. Actually, fuck that. I've just realized... So, I was gonna call you out for being, like, fucking horny in my chat. Horny over video games, and I was gonna be like, I'm sick of gamers being horny. But realistically, I'm fine with games being horny. I just wish that games could be horny without that also becoming, like, a political angle for certain right-wing gamers. You know, like, Stellar Blade? Like, there's the new, like, PlayStation action RPG... Not action RPG, character action game. I don't fucking know what it is. But basically, it's just basically, like, a fucking horny game. Except it's not pornography. But, like, I look at that and I go, I don't really give a shit. who fucking cares? And the reality is that somebody who wants to play a video game where they want to fuck the main character, you know, they care about that shit. And you know what? Fair enough. But the problem that I have with that is then you've got a lot of people that are going, I want to fuck this character, and this is the problem with Western video games. This is the problem with woke gamers. And it's like, brother, what are we doing? You just want to fuck your character, and that's fine. Some people want to make characters that you just don't want to fuck, and for some reason that's like a... It's not a problem to you, I wouldn't imagine, but it's like there's a lot of people that seem to take characters that they don't want to fuck and then use that as like a platform for like, see, this is why white men aren't allowed in gaming. And it's like, brother, there's fucking like 99% of white male gamers. Shut the fuck up. Sorry, I went on a bit of a tangent there. Thank you for asking about blazblue. It's freaking me out, man. I jumped around a lot before I found my main tower in 2016 and then Hazama and... You landed on Arakune? Get out of my chat. All I know is Arakune... People fucking hate Arakune. That's all I really know. Thoughts on ABBA? I haven't played her. I don't like playing against ABBA in XX. And so I would imagine that I don't like playing against ABBA in Strive. But even more than that, I don't really give a shit. You know, it's cool that people like the character. I think I haven't really seen anything, and maybe this is just who I follow on Twitter, but like I haven't seen anything about the character after the announcement. People were like, holy shit, it's ABBA. I saw that on my timeline for about a day, and I haven't seen anything else. Is this one of those characters that is kind of like Baiken, where they have a massive casual audience, but absolutely no appeal outside of that? I feel like it might be. Leon, when are you starting your villain arc? I'm already in it. The amount of things that I have said on stream to people that I have played in Tekken, and then they've come into the chat and they've been like, hi, thanks for the games. And I'm like, oh shit, maybe don't watch the VOD. I'm already in the villain arc. The moment that you're saying things that, like, if you're saying something and then somebody comes into the chat and it was directed towards them and you go, oh fuck, I wish I never said that. You're in your villain arc. You're already saying things that you probably shouldn't say. So, let's be honest. I'm already in it. But worse as well. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, I love being in my like villain arc where I'm like, I get hit by a button that I don't like and I'm gonna tell someone to kill themselves. I'm gonna make it so the next time I'm streaming, bringing up Strive will be an instant timeout. You've been warned, green guy Gary. It's not your fault, but you've been warned. But did your opinion change on GG Strive for better or for worse? It didn't. I haven't thought about it, if I'm being honest. This isn't like me trying to be like salty at you. I'm sorry if it like comes off that way. It's just like a case of like, I don't think about it, you know? It was a game that I played for 100 hours. I kind of got like my money's worth. But also at the same time, like, I didn't really like it that much. What's your opinion of Venom in Plus R? I think Venom in Plus R is sick. Venom in both of those, in both Plus R and Guilty Gear XR, are my favorite character. I just love the fucking ball mechanic. Like, it strikes the neuron in my brain that I think, like, terminally horny people feel every single time they see, like, a midriff. And for that, I can't be any more thankful. To know what it's like to feel like a gooner without having to go through the extremely depressing arc of having to hide my pornography on my parents' computer is incredible. Now, admittedly, I wouldn't have to do that to begin with because I'm an adult, but I still think the bit works. The Lethal League neuron, it actually is. It's the moment that there's a ball on the screen, I'm happy. Oh, the ball in Plus R is so loud, that's why I bring it up. Well, to be fair, okay. This isn't one of my typical the other days, where in reality it was 4 months ago. The actual other day, I was playing Plus R, and I realized I can't do Dark Angel, that's the one. I can't do Dark Angel input in that game. It's too jank. Or it's not jank, you get used to it, I know I get used to it eventually. This is like the guy the other day, and maybe it's to no fault of his own, but there was a guy the other day who was in my Twitter mention, because I mentioned how fucking all of my IAD inputs like drop after a cancel in this game. What they said was like, oh, the input sucks, I can't do it, to, I forget the Twitter username, I know they go by John, but they were complaining that like, oh, you think it sucks because you can't do it. And it's like, no, I can do it, it's just like, it's just annoying. And that's how I feel every single time I'm like, oh, this thing's really jank. It's like, no, I can do it eventually, it's just like, you know, it's a bit weird, and just because you're used to it doesn't mean that it's not dumb as shit. In summary, I hate talking to gamers about video games, which I think we're all on that team, so long as you're like a reasonable human. Did it make any sense, the tangent that I just went on? Fuck no. Am I gonna pretend that it did anyway? Fuck yes. Do you have lenient inputs on in Plus R? I do. I think. I want to say that I do. It's just that, I don't know. Maybe I just have like the goofy input. I'm so brain rotted from modern games that my inputs are just really sloppy. I would imagine. That's why I would put money on that just being the case. It's not like, oh, like, the game is bunk. It's like, no, I just have, like, dog shit input consistency. Like, to be fair, the other day I was playing Marvel. Maybe, okay, this was like a week ago. A week ago I was playing Marvel, and I was constantly getting DP inputs and half-circle inputs when I wasn't asking for either. And so I think I've just learned, like, motion inputs like shit. I think an understated part of XR's UI and visual design is how juicy the wrist gauge looks when it's cranked to shit. It does look tasty, I'll give you that. I wish it was a bit more, like, present, because wrist can be really fucking important. Especially, like, if I was gonna make any change to XR, I would make it so that there is a little indicator somewhere on the HP bar, somewhere on the wrist gauge, that shows you the exact, like, pixel that you need to ride over in order to start hitting, like, counter hit on normal hit. Because that shit is, like, so important on some characters. Some routes just, like, change entirely the moment that it's, like, you're hitting counter hit. Fucking, I would like to know when that's happening, actually. Some people would call it based. Some people would call it cringe. Most people wouldn't say anything at all. They're lurking in the chat. That's a little Oppenheimer joke for you. I hope we all enjoy mass catastrophe humor here. I do feel like Plus R is a little bit jank after 900 hours, but you end up getting used to it. Yeah. I mean, that's like a lot of, like, older fighting games. Like, there's so many fighting games that have come out between, like, 2009 and, like, 2016 that have really grand ideas but haven't, like, exactly stuck the landing like modern fighting games that are interesting in their jank. But that doesn't mean they're not jank. And that doesn't mean that, like, you can expect people to, like, look past it. Sometimes it's like nobody wants to learn, like, a game that's, like, hard as hell. And it's like, it's fine. That's just, like, kind of the L that you have to take as someone that likes weird video games. But, I mean, you're a fighting game player, you already know that. I thought this game had rollback skill issues. Fair enough. You know what? I kind of have to hold that. I definitely need to hold that. I need to remember that this character has 2 air dashes. Very important. Dizzy is one of those characters where it feels like everyone that plays her is either hot dog shit or the best Dizzy you've ever played. And there is no in between. Also, I need to... this is a very, like, fundamental thing to learn, and so you might be going like, how do you not already know how to do this? But I need to learn how to do, like, jump heavy into, like, air dash, like, more consistently. For some reason, I haven't developed any of that muscle memory. I just watch your melee set against Slime. Do you play often? Like every other fighting game, it becomes like my video game for the month, and then I don't touch it again for another 6. But I have played Melee for... I know you wouldn't be able to tell by watching, but I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell by the way that Slime played either. But I've played Melee for, like, years. I've played Melee for way longer than I've played fighting games. I'm almost, like, coming up on my, like, 10-year anniversary as a Smasher. Which, to be fair, I feel like is a lot easier to kind of, like, engross yourself in long-term, because there's just way more offline tournaments. And maybe this was a thing... Actually, this kind of was a thing pre-COVID. Locals were a little bit, like, spottier, but your regionals, for example. There's just, like, way more offline tournaments for Smash than there is traditional fighting games. And I think that's in part because, you know, obviously, like, there's an offline culture, but, like, there's an offline culture in, like, fighting games, like traditional fighting games. But traditional fighters have the benefit of most of the games that are still played have decent online. And if they're not, like, still played, they're probably on Fightcade, where they have decent online. Whereas if you wanted to, like, play Ultimate, it's like, you're gonna play that shit in person. Because there's no fucking way that you're playing that garbage online. You're running an online tournament for Ultimate, it literally doesn't mean that. You're running an online tournament for Melee, I mean, that's kind of fine, like, now, but also at the same time, realistically, we only really care about when it's in person. Melee is also still very dependent on CRTs. Good news, I'm gonna give you a brain blast. I think that's copium. I understand, like, fucking, I'm not a pro, but, like, surely converters have gotten good enough at this point where you aren't dependent on CRTs. It's just so ingrained into the culture that why would you not? Like, even as someone that's, like, got a 120Hz monitor and doesn't think that it's actually, like, makes any difference whatsoever, would I rather play on a CRT or an LED monitor? It's like, every single day I'd want to play on a CRT. That's the culture, baby. I love my 4x3. You play Samus, though? I play Fox on the side. Like every single Smasher, I play Fox on the side. My Fox is actually getting kind of nasty with it as well. Like, it's not good. The neutral is abysmal because it's just like, wow, I get hit once and I die. And I haven't realized that just because I can't crouch cancel till like 120 doesn't mean that I can't crouch cancel until 40. But my Fox is kind of nasty with it. See me on unranked and I might do some damage. I might even hit a combo that you think is like pretty cool. To be honest, someone who plays Guilty Gear and Smash Melee, what are your thoughts on men? I think fuck 'em. Kill all men. Legalize first degree murder. What's that Pink Flamingos bit? I just don't have the input speed to play Fox. I think playing, and I need to make sure that I don't mean to say this in the pretentious way that a lot of people do when they say this, but I think playing Fox is kind of like playing an instrument. Nobody has the input speed to play Fox realistically, but after a certain period of time, you just develop your own natural feel for how you want to move around the controller. Sure, you should be, like, moving with this, like, specific kind of way of moving, but, like, at the end of the day, like, you're not a machine. You just have to learn how Fox moves in your hand. You don't pick up the guitar going, why am I not Jimi Hendrix? You know, you pick up the guitar and you're like, maybe I'm Ed Sheeran, but that doesn't mean that I can't enjoy playing the guitar. I'm not Leffen, but I can enjoy playing Fox, you know? I love playing Fox. I think that motherfucker is so fun. You know what I like about Fox? It's the fact that, like, when you are losing, you know, when you're losing on Fox, you lose the situation so quickly. One of the things that stopped me, like, that gives me Samus guilt, is whenever I'm losing, it takes so long to lose. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to lose any, like, harder, but it does mean that I'm going to lose for longer. And it means that my opponent has to just wait longer to win the exact same amount. That shit's boring. Just let me explode. Let me go poof. I want to play Strider and Dark Phoenix as every single character. Yo, Doctor Strange is so sick, though. But Doctor Strange is so sick. Ooh, but Doom. Doom in this example is like Marth. But Doom. But also, I want every character to be like Strider. In Melee, in Marvel, give me Doom, give me Strange. Give me Doom, give me Strange, give me Nova, but make it so that I don't, like, feel like I'm just another white man that plays Nova. You know, like, God. I think Marvel's so fucking sick with it. I wish that there was, like, more of a lower level player base for it, because Marvel has the issue that Melee would have if Melee didn't get the documentary, where everyone that is playing that game is fucking sick with it. You enter a server and you go like, this guy's trash, this guy's arse. Like, everyone in the server is like, this guy's fucking dog shit. The brand new guy rocks up and, like, goes to press anything, and it's like, you're gonna at least see 2 perfects in the best of 30. It's fucked up. People are too good at Marvel. tried to play Melee, but it felt like shit. It made me understand why they changed it. I would like to learn it properly, but it takes a lot of work. It's true. It's the argument that we were having earlier. Well, not argument, but it was the discussion that we were having earlier, where it's just like, Melee players will be like, yeah, but you get used to it. And it's like, yeah, but that doesn't mean it doesn't feel like dog shit. It doesn't matter how much you get used to it. The process still feels like bullshit. No Buffer mostly has that feeling in regards to Melee. Yeah, I think that like any game that you play, if you like play anything that's modern and you go back to an older game, No Buffer feels really fucking weird. And like there's benefits to No Buffer where you get like a certain degree of, maybe not player expression, but like an execution barrier that can be interesting to people. That I still think can be kind of interesting, but yeah, I could see it. I'd say, like, have you seen this thing on Twitter? And I'd, like, try to start getting the banter going. But, oh, Jesus. That isn't just, like, hey, here's a fighting game opinion. But, like, honestly, I've been in the fucking mines in this fucking YouTube video. I'm so ready for it to be out. I'm so ready for it to be out. I need it gone from, not my hard drive, but like, at least like from my brain space for a little bit. Thoughts on Tekken 3? I think that shit's so based. I love Tekken 3. I don't necessarily think that it's a game that like should come back as a competitive game. Like, it's definitely not gonna be like, I'm definitely not thinking like, this is the Melee of traditional fighting games, but like, I definitely do be thinking like, this game kind of got like, it's sad that the game seems to have been like forgotten about from a competitive level. Is he still getting railed by the same Dizzy? This is how Guilty Gear works. I have horrible news for you. You get on a setup that you have a room with 8 people available in it. You got winner stays on, and the people that stay on are the best Dizzy that you've ever played against, the worst Jam that you've ever played against, and then there's you. And you know who is the next person to get on the setup? The best Jam that you've ever played against. There's very little in between. And so you either nut up and you love to learn the game. I mean, you learn the love of the game, or like you give up. And quite frankly, I think both are like completely valid choices. Shout out to you which way you go. Like obscure Discord fighters, you're either brand new or the top player in that game. Yeah. That's why I don't really like Discord fighters all that much. It's like there's way too much. There's not enough middle ground, rather. And there's no one to blame, which is even more frustrating. If it was like, yeah, fucking the top player isn't putting out any resources, what a dickhead. It would be like, thank God, somebody to complain about. It's League of Legends all over again. But every single Discord fighter, it's like, the one person who's still playing is trying their goddamn fucking hardest, but they're playing a game that like 4 people give a shit about. Only one of them is actively playing, and nobody cares to learn because there's no training room. Me looking at, I was going to say HNK, but it kind of has a training room. I'm not the type of person who can learn by losing 0-30 to a top player. I don't know how people can learn in that environment. Same. I think, well, I was going to say I think I'm in my Xrd arc, but let's be honest, I'm in my every video game arc at the moment. But I think that like Xrd kind of go a little fucking crazy with it. I understand that the game isn't perfect, but like every single time I play it, I'm pissed off. Don't get me wrong. I'm pissed off, but I will look at some of these interactions and I'll be like, this shit was pretty fucking cool, man. It was pretty fun to move around the screen like this. Ooh. Yellow Venom, we love that. When is Balatro coming back? When are we going back to speedrunning Katamari? Xrd is like a semi-Discord fighter at this point? Maybe. But also, like, I don't think that's necessarily... No, it is a problem, I'm lying. It's a problem for me because I don't want to deal with the people that are good at this game. Much like everyone doesn't want to deal with the people that are good at this game. I think, like, this game kind of has the problem that, like, a lot of anime fighters do, where when you get to, like, a really, really high level, there's so much, like, knowledge of setups that you need to have to really enjoy it. But the middle point, the bit where you're kind of high level, but also at the same time dog shit enough to just have, like, gargantuan blind spots in your play, that shit goes crazy. No, I wanted to grab you, motherfucker. Personally, I tried to pick it up all the way back in 2014. It was just way too hard. Yeah, I'll give you that. I do think that this game, like, fucking... This is, like, the problem with really liking Guilty Gear Xrd and also not being insane. It's like, do I love Guilty Gear Xrd and do I think it's one of the most fun fighting games ever made? Yeah, 100%. Would I recommend that you pick it up and play it, like, today? I'm not too sure about that. Because it's like, it's great fun when you know what the fuck is going on, but getting to that point, fuck me, it's so frustrating. You gotta take so many fucking big, huge L's. Some fucking nerd that's been playing Zato in Training Room for upwards of 100 hours just so they can play 12 minutes of actual video game, absolutely slurping his Gurpy off while he runs his mix that he's memorized. It's like, oh fuck. That's not really that fun when you're starting out. Slurping his Gurpy? Yeah! You never slurp your own Gurpy? If not, then I don't know how to tell you, but go and remove one of your ribs. It'll be life-changing. Your lungs won't work correctly, but believe me, you'll have the best self-session of all time. What's a derpy? No. It's your Gurpy. It's your penis. Leon, what do you think about Rivals 2? I can't wait to play Rivals 2. I'm on what is surprising to me a rare team of Rivals 1 is based. And so the idea of Rivals 2, which is just like imagine Rivals but there's more melee influence, I'm like, yes. Give me that. Bro got put in on by his own character. See, this is how I know that I'm like deep in the Venom mine. I'm playing against my own character and I'm going, this shit's fun as hell. And I don't know if that's the case that like Venom is really well designed, because I know that other people fucking hate this character. But like, to me, I'm like, this is the fun shit. I can play Venom mirrors like all day. I'm a huge believer in Aether Studios. Rivals 2 is gonna rule. I think it's gonna be pretty good. I don't think it's gonna be the melee killer that people want it to be. Well, I don't think anyone's necessarily wanting it to be a melee killer. Okay, fair enough. Actually, this is good. I fucking love when there's like 3 people on a setup. I get to sit out and I just get to like respond to chat for a while. It's sick. But I don't think there's anyone that wants melee to be like dead. But people keep going like, what's the successor to melee? And at this point, you have to be honest with yourself. There is no successor to melee. Melee is not going to get like a game that overtakes it. There's just going to be games that are like melee. But I do hope that Rivals 2 is like a game that is like melee that people actually band behind, because I thought Rivals 1 was pretty good. There's definitely like, I don't like the presentation of it all that much, but you know. And I don't like not having a ledge. I love a ledge. Ledge play is incredible. Yeah, I'm a big ledge guy. I'm really into ledging. I just want a game that feels like P+ to be popular again. Dude, I was fucking... Every once in a while, I think about Xanadu during PM 3.02. I can't remember what patch it was specifically. It was the one right before 3.5. But, God, I remember fucking watching Xanadu PM 0.2, and it was like, it's just a weekly. It was just a weekly. But every single week I would log in, I'd be like, that's my favorite guy right there. That's my GOAT. God. Watching Lucas run the same shit that they run every single week, and I'm like, yes. Yes. I love that shit. PM's just so good. Obviously it has like problems, like a lot of the cast is like not fun to play against. Kirby, Ice Climbers, you know. The culprits that there normally are. But like, fuck, it was good. It was good watching as well. I wasn't even able to play PM because I was like a little baby and I was like, I don't want to hack my Wii. And also I think I just had like a GameCube at the time. But like, damn, it was such good watching. That shit was the best. It's fucking sick. And the idea that it was just like, you'd have like little micro celebrities just because of this little weekly that had like, and it was always like 50 entrants. And it's just like, what the hell are they doing up in America that is making PM so damn fucking popular? And you know what it was? It was the culture. That shit was good. That's kind of what I need to be careful with my wording because I don't want to get like clipped out of context and it become a Twitter drama. But like, I feel like a lot of the more professional esports kind of leagues that we have now. Like, a lot of the culture isn't really there. Like, I'm watching Street Fighter and I'm just like, this doesn't feel like I'm watching 3 guys that love playing Street Fighter. It feels like I'm watching like 16 guys that all have like big teams behind them for a pittance of a salary, play a game that they know will make them like a little bit of money if they get good at. I'm not saying that like nobody would be playing Street Fighter 6 if there wasn't like, if it had no money in it, but you know, I feel like it would feel a lot different. I don't know if I would call it honest, but that's the word that my brain wants to like land on. Like when people are playing Marvel, like now, people are playing Marvel because they fucking love Marvel. People are playing Melee because they fucking love Melee. People aren't playing Marvel because it's like, I'm hoping that I get picked up by Team Liquid. People are just in it for the love of the game. That's also not to like slight the people that are playing Street Fighter 6 for the money. Nice Bishop. Yeah, that Bishop was sick. That Bishop went crazy. You were watching 16 guys and a bunch of commercials sandwiched between their matches. But that's not really like the problem. Maybe this is like extremely boomer coded. But like, you notice how none of these venues have any filth? They're all too clean. Red Bull Gaming Sphere in like London, I hate that venue. No offense, Omid. Like, you're trying your hardest. And like, they can do interesting things with like the set. But like, I would always prefer the fucking X-Fed or whatever it was called in East London. Or was it North London? I can't fully remember. Where it was just like, you're on the way there and it's like, someone's gonna kill me. Someone's gonna come and kill me. You're like in a back alley and it's just like, where's the venue? It's one of these completely indescript warehouses. You walk in and it's like, there's like 10 arcade cabinets in like what is clearly supposed to be just like storage space. It's so fucking sick. It's just like, you're just there for the love of the game. None of you are like here because it's like, yeah, I might make like $200. It's like, no, I'm here because I fucking love playing Third Strike. It's fucking the same dog shit that I play every single week. I'm gonna get mad as hell on Twitter about the same shit, and I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna come back next week and the week after, because that's just what I do. And that's the fucking good shit. Venues where it's like, do you want to have a beer? And it's like, yeah. Do you want to have some ket? And it's like, no, but you are offering. And it's like, if I can't get ket in a venue, what's the fucking point? I'm not saying that I would. I don't even do any drugs. I'm just saying, you need to be able, I need to be within, you know how like people are like, you're always within like 20 feet of a rat? I need to be within 20 feet of a dealer. I want my opponent to be a dealer. I want the real shit back. That's a quote for later. When I become a meth head, in my meth head arc, it'll be like, it was written in the books. It's the principle of the thing. That's what I'm saying. Why do you live in Milton Keynes then? What do you mean? You go to the city centre and it's just like, I'm not saying that it's like fucked up. It's still nice. But like, there's not a lot to do here other than people from Milton Keynes and people that stay in Milton Keynes specifically. There's 2 different types of Milton Keynesians. There is the person from Milton Keynes who got really into video games, and the person who lives in Milton Keynes that got really into drugs. That's it. There's nothing in between. And a lot of them got really into drugs, because there's nothing else to do here. Well, there wasn't for a long time. I don't know if there is anymore. Like, oh, what am I going to do, like, this week? It's like, oh, I'm going to go to Pink's. What am I going to do next week? I'm going to go to Pink's. Oh, for the love of the game? No, it's because there's nothing else to do. Great. Like, me in my bedroom every single day going, God, I wish I was playing a fighting game. It's for the love of the game. This was also, like, one of the things. Do you remember the tweet a while ago that I made that was like, this is the culture that rollback tournaments threaten? And it was a grand finals that had to take place outside in the rain because the venue closed. And I was like, that's fucking sick. That's a story. That's like, that is culture. And I made a tweet that was like, this is the culture that rollback tournaments threaten. And then there was someone in my mentions, and no offense if this was you, but there was someone in my mentions who was like, this is Smash, it's alright, we're gonna be fine. Are you dense? We're traditional fighting games, the ones that are in danger. Smashers were the ones slumming it in the street, on the fucking sidewalk, playing Grands. And you're like, it's fine because fighting games would never be at risk. It's like, we're already at risk. I'm not saying we're at risk necessarily, but like, what the fuck? The venue that NLBCs will run at still exists and does locals. Yeah. It's not like completely gone. Don't get me wrong, but like it's not evaporated entirely, but it's not like the predominant culture anymore to be like, I'm gonna go to this location and slum it with 12 other dickheads that love this video game. It's, I'm gonna sit in my bedroom on a Wednesday after work and play ranked. And I'm not saying that that's on me either. Like, I'm not saying that, like, I'm exempt from that, or that I'm better than anyone that even wants to do that. I've been a proponent for, like, give me a ranked queue that actually works and is fun to play in. But at the same time, it's like I want to be able to also go to a shitty little venue in somewhere in London that's complete dog shit that I kind of risk my life to get to, you know? Anime fighter tournaments 10, 20 years ago was slummed out hard. I'm sure you heard the meme where people played in the pools and bathroom. Yeah. Everyone's heard the meme where fucking Melty players are in the bathroom playing Melty. This is Melty players in the bathroom playing Melty has kind of reached the smelly smasher kind of portion of culture where it's like all the people that are actually in that culture are kind of sick of it. Because smashers are just like, we're fucking so tired of the smelly smasher meme. Sometimes it's true, but also like, let's be real, it's just gamers. Like, have you ever walked into a venue? Like, any PC bang you'll go to, or like any PC bang type thing, I don't know what it's called anymore. Do we just call them PC bangs? Any of those, someone's stanking it up. There's the most beautiful woman that you've ever seen playing Valorant with her boyfriend, and the smelliest guy that you've ever smelled. And that's, you know, that's PC bangs. It's not exclusive to, you know, Smash tournaments. Smashers smell of nicotine now. I don't know how to tell you this, but that's only true depending on the generation of Smasher. If you're talking to like a Smasher from my generation, yeah, a lot of them just smell like nicotine. But if you're talking to like a modern generation Smasher, they like are very nervous surrounding like drugs. And I don't blame them necessarily, but like, I don't know. There was a point where I reached, like, 19 after, like, my first year of going to tournaments where I was like, a lot of people here like drugs, but also, like, I don't have to do them. The point that drugs in tournament would become a problem is, like, the moment that anyone's trying to, like, push it on you. If they're pushing it on you, report them to the fucking tournament organizer and have them banned from your community. If they're just doing drugs, then, like, who really gives a shit? Bro, I know 18-year-olds that I'd be able to track off the smell alone. Yeah, fair enough. So true. Let me hit my J after a rough set and shit. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Wait, there was jack shit where I live in America. I would actually walk hours just to go to a local. You couldn't... Me and you are on complete opposite end. Because I wouldn't... You'd catch me dead walking that far for a fucking local. But mostly, like, I guess to be fair, if you can't, like, afford, like, the Uber, then fair enough. Imagine walking hours to go 0-2. This is why I'm saying we need round-robin pools. Because if you walk hours, at least then you're going 0-4. And again, I don't want this to be like fucking Leon hates rollback. Leon thinks that all modern fighting game stuff is garbage. No. Like, would I go back to, like, delay-based infrastructure? You're fucking crazy. But it does kind of... I long for the days where tournaments were just a little different. Rural America, my dude, not everyone lives in metros. This is fair, this is a good point. In my head, like, America is, like, Florida, Los Angeles, nothing else. New York, different country. Which I think might be valid. I think I'm spitting with that. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. What about Texas? I'll be honest, you're not real. Texas, to me, is like fucking... The only person who's ever legitimately been from Texas is like Sandy Cheeks, and nobody the fuck else. Fictional place. Fuck, I'm not real. You're not. You're fucked. Okay, let's make this the last one, because I want to go back to working on the video, if I'm being completely honest, because there's still like... I'm still in the back of my mind, like, if you get a certain amount done today, that means you don't have to do a certain amount tomorrow, and you'll be, like, chilling for Friday. I just don't want it to get to Friday, and I'm like, fuck, I have to do, like, the render and final check on the same day. That would suck. Thank you for the games. I appreciate it. We are going to call it there. And we will come back on Friday with probably Tekken. Probably not Tekken 3. Actually, what are we going to do on Friday? I think we could do some Tekken 3 on Friday. Tebben. How many people will be around on Friday and are able to play? Drugs. No. You can do drugs on Friday. That's perfectly fine. If you want to do drugs on Friday, go ahead. But me? No. Not a chance. I'm not doing drugs for the rest of my life. I know that I will be the motherfucker that dies from like a blunt. I'm at work during stream time, sadly. Okay, people are at work. Okay, maybe it will be a case of I should have hit the button where it's like, hey, there's no more games going on. Oops. You won't die, man? I definitely will. Also, I don't really want to. I have a good time like as it is. So I don't need another variable that might bring my mood down. Everyone's fucking I have to hit the fucking, hey, we're closing the fucking room button. Stop joining the fucking video game. You were in my chat earlier, I think. I don't remember. Everyone shut the fuck up. Okay, yeah. We'll probably just do Tekken 7. Anyway, okay. Explosion.